In this video I want to have a look at images and how to insert them into your WordPress posts or pages, and basically how to size them and a few other of the features that are available within WordPress. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over and I'm going to create a new post, which basically will be the post that I put this video into, and let's call it Handling Images in WordPress. Now, one of the things about WordPress 3.9, which was the last version to come out, at least at the time of recording this video, was that WordPress changed the way it handled images, and it got rid of some of the features that I really liked. For example, you used to be able to put in vertical and horizontal space so you could have a white border around your image. That's no longer a simple process. It's not something that WordPress offer at the moment, though I'm hoping they add it back because it was quite a popular feature, and the only reason I can think that they took it out was basically because they were redesigning the interface and they hadn't written the code for that yet. At least that's what I'm hoping. So I'm hoping it makes a reappearance. But let me just add a little bit of text first to this post. Okay, I've added a little introduction to the video and I'm going to insert the video in here. Down here I've just got another sentence saying below is the image that I inserted into the post during the let's change that to video. And so I'm going to actually insert a video, I'm going to insert a photo or an image down here now to show you how I would go about it. Now the first thing I would do is I would go over to my WordPress site, and this is a responsive WordPress theme. It's News Pro theme from Genesis, and so because I've got my screen resolution quite small, or at least the browser dimensions quite small, the sidebar has wrapped. If I open it up a little bit, you can see the sidebar actually snaps over to the right and then snaps down below once it gets too thin. But what I'm interested in is this content area here, and I want to know how wide it is because that will give me an idea of the sort of image size that I can handle. And so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm in Google Chrome, I'm going to press F12 to bring up the inspector, and then I'm going to click on the little magnifying glass here and then just move it over the content area. And you can see the content area dimensions are, let's go back over there again, you can see it's 698 pixels by 805. So the maximum width I should be looking at is just under 700 pixels in width if I want an image to go all the way across the screen. Now it's always a good idea to size your images before you bring them into WordPress. Now when you upload an image to WordPress, WordPress will do its best to compress it, but in my own testing it's far better if I compress it first in an image program. I use Corel Paint Shop Pro, or you can use Photoshop Elements or something like that and compress it so that it takes up less space on the server, and therefore is it'll take up less bandwidth to download every time your page is viewed. Okay, so let's go over to Photoshop Elements, and I've got a photo here that I want to insert into my document. If I go to Image, Resize, I can see that the image is currently 1280 pixels wide by 960 pixels height. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to rotate it so that it's up the right way. And let's just recheck that size again. Image size 960 by 1280. Now remember, the maximum width that my theme can support is 698. If I wanted the image to go the full width across. Now I don't want it to go the full width across. What I'm going to aim for is about half of the width, but then have the photo centered in the middle of the post. So full width is 700, half width is about 350. So what I need to do is I need to resize my image to 350, and that would make it 467 pixels high. That's the first step. Okay, and let's just zoom in a little bit. Okay, that's 100% now. I'm going to save it, and now if I just save it, the file size is quite big. It's about 500k. That's quite a lot to download, and although WordPress will decompress it, like I said, it doesn't do that good a job of compressing, and you actually get a better result, I think. At least that's what I found when I compress it before uploading. So in Photoshop Elements, you can save for the web. That brings up this screen. Now immediately looking at that, I can see that the file size that it's going to be saved at currently is 41 kilobytes, which is a lot better. That's with a picture quality of 60. Now you can change this, but as you change it, the file size is going to increase or decrease depending on the quality, and obviously the image that you're getting at the end of it is going to be better or worse depending on the file size. Now I'm happy with that, 42 kilobytes, so I'm going to save it. And I'm going to just call it dog. It's a JPEG I'm saving it as. So we've now saved that. I can close this altogether. Now let's go back to our post. Now there's two ways we can proceed from here. The first one, we want to insert the image underneath this text. And the first way of doing it is just to drag the image from wherever it is on your hard drive and drop it directly into WordPress. And what happens if you do that is it will just basically do the same as clicking this Add Media button. So it's almost exactly the same. If you drag and drop it like this, it will upload it. So I actually already uploaded a version earlier. I did a mistake in the video, so I'm redoing it. This is the one I've just uploaded. And you can add a title, and you can add a caption. This title here is really just so, it's just to help you in the gallery to find different things. I'll show you that in a minute. At the very least, what I recommend you do is use the alt text, and that is there really to help blind people who don't have, who can't see, or people who have images turned off. Which is a lot less common than it used to be now that internet speeds have increased, but it's there for people who don't have the images so they can see what the image is about. And you can also add a description if you want, but that isn't inserted into the web page, so that's totally up to you. Now I want my image centered, but you can have it aligned left or you can have it aligned right, and if you align it left, then the text will flow around the image on the right and then down below. If you align it right, the text will flow down on the left hand side and then down below. So it's a way of aligning the image. You used to be able to put vertical space as well, so that there would be a gap between the image and the text, but they removed that in 3.9 and hopefully we'll bring it back. The other choice you've got is when somebody clicks on the image or somebody moves the mouse over, is that image clickable? And if it is, where do you want it to be clicked? What do you want to happen when somebody clicks it? If you don't want it clickable, then you just select none from the link to. Now if you want it clickable, the two main options that you probably will choose are custom URL, which, let's say that's a buy now button and not picture of a dog. If that was a buy now button, you could then say, put the sales page in here, this is where they go to buy that particular product, and then when they click it, they're taken to this URL. And the other one is media file, and that's the one I'm going to use for the moment. What happens is when somebody clicks on it, the media file will open in the browser. So basically the image will open in a new tab. I've actually got a Lightbox plugin installed in this WordPress, WP Slimbox, and what a Lightbox does is when you have an image opening in a new window like that, or opens the media file, it actually opens in the Lightbox. So I'll show you that in a moment. Now I've got the text tab open here, and this is the text that has been inserted. If I go over to the visual tab, you can see that the image has been inserted and then the caption has been inserted underneath. If we look at the HTML, you'll see that the hyperlinks, there's a title tag that you can assign to things like hyperlinks, and that hasn't actually been used, which is great because that's something that's been heavily abused in SEO, so you don't want to do that. And this basically, there's some code here to tell WordPress which image and which image this particular post is attached to. It's the attachment. It's not something you need to worry about. We've then got the main code, which is this hyperlink, and basically it's the image hyperlinking to the image. And then we've got the alt text, which is that important text to include in there. And you can see that WordPress has also put in the height and width, which was the original height and width of the image, because when we inserted it, if you remember, if I go back, when we inserted it, if I just click on the image, it brings up two little buttons there which allow me to delete it or to edit the settings, and I can change the alignment there. Remember, I chose full size. You can choose thumbnail, can choose medium, full size, but if you're going to use a thumbnail, I would recommend you check the size of the thumbnail that is going to be used, and in this case 150 by 150, and assign, make your image the width of your image or the height of your image, I would try and keep to the dimensions given there. You can also specify a custom size, but again, try to resize your images before you import them. Let's have a look and see what happens if I change that to a thumbnail. Sometimes we get some strange cropping of the image, and it doesn't seem to have. Let me reinsert that image and see. I'm going to click on the media button, click on this, let's go down, let's choose thumbnail, insert into post, and we'll see. As you can see from that, if I open up the original image, you can just about see underneath that it's been cropped like this. So if you want, if you've got an image that is strangely cropped when you insert the thumbnail, the thing to do is don't upload a big image and expect the thumbnail to resize properly. If you want a thumbnail, the thumbnail sizes are shown in the media center, 150 by 150 in this case. So make your image 150 by 150. If you can't make it 150 by 150, then make the longest side 150. And if it's a rectangular image, make the shorter size less than 150 and the longer side 150, and then when it crops you should be okay. But we're going to stick with full size. I'm going to insert it into the post, and I'm going to publish that for now. And we can now see that with the caption. Let's view the actual page. Here we are. And you can see it's perfectly inserted, perfect size, central, exactly as I want. Now, you'll see if I move my mouse over it, you'll see the little pointer hand. That means it's a hyperlink. If you click on it, then you'll see it open in this WP Slimbox plugin, the Lightbox. And it's a great way of highlighting your images. Okay, so that's how you handle images in your documents. As I said, the older versions of WordPress used to allow you to insert vertical and horizontal space on the images, so you could have a border, a clear border around the image. You can't do that now. You do have a few other options down here. This is the image title attribute, and this is something I don't recommend you use, because as I said before, it's the thing that has been heavily abused. Let's say my keywords here, and let's just update, and I'll show you what I mean by that. There you go, look, we've got the HTML text, you can see the title attribute, my keywords here. This is what a lot of spammers have done in the past to try and get keyword optimization into their images. They would use the title attribute. I would not use it at all, because you don't want Google to think you're trying to to input keywords into the web page, hidden keywords, because they won't be visible to human visitors. Even those who have images turned off probably won't see them, so it's not worth putting in and risking. Another option you can see in these advanced options, which are collapsible, is this open in a new window tab. Some lightboxes you use might need that for the actual lightbox to work properly. Some don't. The one I use doesn't, because I didn't have it opening in a new window. If you're not using a lightbox, then that can be useful, because clicking on that would open it up into a new tab in your browser. And the other option down here, you've got link relationship, and what that's useful for, if you're linking to another website, let's suppose this is an affiliate link buy button, you might want to make that no follow, and you can just type no follow in there and then update your code, and then when you see it on the text tab, you'll see here it's inserted the rel equals no follow tag, so that the search engines won't actually follow it. I don't want that. These other ones are really for more advanced use, and to be fair, if you know what these things are, then you probably know how to use them in WordPress, so I'm not going to cover them here. Let me just post. And finally have another look, and then I'm going to finish the video and upload it and insert it into this spot here. Okay, just finally before we go, if I click over onto the media link, you can see all of the media items in my media library, and if they've been attached to a page or a post, you will see it in this uploaded to column. So this one was uploaded to the handling images in WordPress post. If it's not been uploaded anywhere, or it's not been used anywhere, then it's in this unattached section over here. See, this one down here is unattached, so I could actually delete that permanently without problem because it's not being used. That's about it really. It's fairly easy to use, and when you want to add new ones, you can just click add new. As I said, you can browse your hard drive for them, or just drag and drop them, or drag and drop them directly into the posts and they'll upload to WordPress. But one of the most important things I would say is do resize them before you upload them. And also in posts, I should just mention as well, there is another type of image in posts called featured image, and depending on your theme, the featured image, you can upload a featured image in the same way. Okay, but make sure you know the size of the featured image for your theme, and you upload an image that's actually the correct size for your theme. Otherwise it can look a little bit strange and it can be cropped badly as well. So that is one of the secrets really to using images properly in WordPress. Make sure it's the right size before you upload it.